Brothers and sisters, we are going through a time in our life that we have not seen before. We have been bombarded by world news, financial and physical threats, contradicting reports, isolation, and so on. Although these storms in our life are not new, this one here is different. It is unique in its scale, it's unique in its non-discriminate nature, and globally speaking, we are all united. In a sense, we are all in the same boat. So again, I ask, where is your faith? We all have it. James tells us this. But he tells us, well, good that you have faith, but he warns us that even the demons have it. What and where we are putting our faith in changes everything. It will affect our entire worldview, our walk, and our peace. A common theme in the previous daily doses in our elder prayer has been keeping our eyes fixed on Jesus. Personally, I have been preaching this to myself constantly in this season. A great example of the importance of keeping our eyes fixed on Jesus is found in Matthew 14. Picking up Matthew 14 to 23, I'll start off. After sending them home, he went up to the hills by himself to pray. Night fell, and he was there alone. Just on a quick little tangent here, I just love how Jesus needs to spend time in prayer. This was absolutely essential to him. It was not an add-on activity. It's not some kind of vitamin that he just added to his life. It was his life. He accepted the Father's authority and was dependent on him in all things, and was in constant fellowship with his Father. But anyways, picking up back from 25, about 3 o'clock in the morning, Jesus came toward them walking on water. When the disciples saw him walking on water, they were terrified. In their fear, they cried out, "It's a ghost." But Jesus spoke to them at once. "Don't be afraid. Take courage. I am here." Then Peter called him, "Lord, if it's truly you, tell me to come to you walking on water." "Yes, come, Lord. Come," Jesus said. So Peter went over to the other side of the boat and walked on water towards Jesus. But when he saw a strong wind and the waves, he was terrified and began to sink. "Save me, Lord," he shouted. Jesus immediately reached out and grabbed him. "You have so little faith," Jesus said. "Why did you doubt me?" When they climbed back into the boat, the wind stopped. Then the disciples worshipped him. "You are really the Son of God," they exclaimed. First, just notice how Jesus recognizes their fear and assures them to take courage and do not be afraid. This is the most often spoken phrase in the Bible. Fear not, do not be afraid. So we see Peter stepping out in the boat in faith. Even though it makes no sense to his senses and his understanding, he steps out. His eyes are fixed on Jesus, and he is accomplishing a supernatural feat in doing so. But when the wind comes, he becomes afraid. He takes his eyes off Jesus, and then he begins to sink. He asks his Lord to save him, which of course he does. But look at what Jesus says. "You of little faith, why do you doubt?" This may seem like he's rebuking Peter, which to a degree he is, but he is also encouraging him here. He is saying to Peter, "You are capable of far greater and sustained faith." Essentially, he's saying that to all of us. The scene ends in worship. Then those who were in the boat worshipped him, saying, "Truly, you are the Son of God." Jody and I were listening to a sermon the other day, and it was correctly said that the opposite of worry is worship. See how the others in the boat went to worship? "Truly, you are the Son of God." We find ourselves celebrating our season of hope. He has risen, risen indeed. I love the Easter story and the encounters with Jesus post-resurrection. I'll end with this dramatic event told in John. In Luke 24:27, Jesus tells us that all the scriptures were about him. This comes to a climax with Thomas. Yes, that doubting Thomas. Thomas's faith statement, "My Lord, my God," is so powerful. It is a dramatic and powerful moment that all the other stories and all the other prophets pointed to. He simply says, "My Lord, my God." My Lord, my God. Friends, we all have faith. We all need more of it, and we need to place it in the only true source, our sustainer, our Lord, our God. There is one old saying that says, "I do not know what tomorrow holds, but I do know who holds tomorrow." Friends, take heart, for he has overcome the world. May peace and grace be yours in abundance. Be well and stay safe.